Hi guys, it's Andy Wood. I am attempting to figure out how I'm going to install and set up some leveling legs for the table saw workbench. I don't have a vise. All I have are clamps and my trusty workbenches. And I do some very sketchy things here. And I do apologize. And if you cringe, again, I am very sorry. I want you to know no one was hurt. And I learned a lot. And some mistakes also on my behalf was that the these leveling legs, or feet, whatever you want to call them, the dimensions I either read wrong or I ordered the incorrect size Forstner bit, because I thought the easiest thing is to drill a hole so that the foot can fit into it. Well, the Forstner bit I have is just a little bit too small. And I thought, okay, I will attack that at another time. Let me make sure I can get the bolt all the way through the 2x4, and that is an extension that's very sketchy. And again, I do apologize. I know this is cringy. It's very sketchy, but I'm gonna get better. I promise. Oh geez, that's horrible. Oh god. I eventually succeed here in finding out the size drill bit I need for the bolt, which I didn't succeed at this time, but let's get a bigger bit so we can do more damage. But we don't. I'm just lack of tools, lack of know-how. But as you can see there, I finally get it to where the bolt fits through, or the leg of the foot. The next task is to figure out how to get rid of the material around the hole so that the foot would fit flush inside the cavity. And I thought, oh, I got a set of wood chisels. Let me chisel away. There's not that much. But I opted not to because I just thought it was going to take way too long. And I even cut that out because I started and I said, nope. So you can see the chisels in the background, but I did something even more sketchy. I used the miter saw to cut away little strips so that I could chip away faster with the chisel. And that's what I attempt to do here. It for the most part, it would have been successful, but I'm just thinking I'm going against the grain. It's harder. It's looking really bad. And I'm going to have to do this 4 times. And I'm just looking at this thing going, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way. Nope, this ain't going to do it. This ain't going to do it. There's got to be a better way. And I thought, wait a minute, I have a jigsaw. Can I get the blade inside there and make some nice straight cuts? So let me try it. Ah, the jigsaw. And I've only used this tool a couple times. I know the full nature of it before. I use these to cut circles for wafer lights in our ceiling in the home. And this actually opened up a whole avenue of possibilities, because after this is over, I just pondered and thought and going, there's got to be a way, because this jigsaw is the solution, but I have a confined work area, meaning I have a very small area that I'm trying to cut out. And I know you can't get really tight corners around with a jigsaw. So in this video, you guys will find out that I finally figured out what I should have done in the first place. And as you can see here, this mainly works. I'm pretty happy with it. I just have to figure out how I can do this much better, because I can't take the small workbench up to the miter saw and cut away that material. So I'm thinking, how can I do this? How can I do this? And then here is me the next day thinking, all right, I'll do this. I'm going to use the jigsaw. I'm going to drill holes, and I think this will work. So I actually say to myself, I'm thinking to myself, and I'm talking out loud, which is disturbing, that this has got to go in the same spot on both sides. And I have to make sure I don't run into any pocket holes or any screws. So I checked all the way around a couple times to make sure I was not going to run into a hole where a pocket screw was already. And I want to make sure I give myself enough room for the foot to get in and out. It doesn't have to be, you know, skin tight. And I find a nice spot on both sides of one rail and on to match the other side. And I've settled on some measurements and I said, this should work, but I have to test it out because if I mess up once, I can't undo, you know, what damage I do to the wood. So I transfer these measurements over to another scrap piece of 2x4. And then this is where I really think, okay, this is going to work. This is going to work. And it's a lot less sketchy. I promise, a lot less cringy than before. Because I kind of worked it all out. I said, okay, I don't have to use a Forstner bit. I can cut away a large piece of material with the jigsaw. I just have to make sure the jigsaw does the work. I just guide it and there's going to be a line. Yeah, I can do this. That's what I kept thinking to myself. I can do this. But can I do it 4 times in a row? And that's why I just sat here and going, okay, let's take our time. We're not in a rush. It's no race. And bingo, look, I figured it out. Again, might be a little bit sketchy because not wearing any safety glasses or anything like that. But it dawns on me that this is going to work easier. It's going to give me better results. And I just have to do it 4 times and just go slow, like I said before. And it was a realization that, you know, if you have the right tools, a little bit of ingenuity, and bingo, look, it's going to work just right. I'm a fan of these Bessie clamps, by the way. I think that's how you pronounce it. I like how they really hold something. The other quick release from Irvin's, they'll hold stuff, but you can't get them too tight to where these you can get tight. And the one mystery I had was if I get a bolt in this thing, how am I going to make sure that it grips and it doesn't give over time? So it took me a while to figure out there's got to be a way where people are putting bolts into wood and then they're inserts. And look at that. This was really a good, happy moment for me because I've done something I've never done before. I figured it out. Yes, the path was scary. And I did make one mistake here, and I'll show you here in a sec, is that it's very important that when you drill a hole, that you make it straight. And I just discovered that my hole was slightly slant, and I'm trying to figure out, is that going to cause a problem? If I had to fully extend this foot, it would have rubbed and it would have caused a problem. And I said, okay, I know how to do this. Again, patience and map it out a little bit better. I thought maybe if I took that threaded insert and put it in at an angle, it would go in straight, but it doesn't. I discovered that here real quick. How I solved my problem with drilling straight is I have a dowel jig that I use to drill a pilot in the 2x4s, and then with that pilot hole, I was able to make all but straight holes. This is Alex helping me out on the final journey here. And again, you can see over my large shoulder there's the 2 holes, jigsaw, cutting lines, and look at that. We got 4 of them done, and that's the threaded insert that when you don't know what it is, it's hard to figure out what they're called so you can find a search for them. But it was the answer to what I was looking for. And again, guys, this is fun. And I got more videos coming, me making mistakes, and you guys helping. Thanks.